take a moment to arrive and stop and breathe ourselves into the stillness and the yinness. As you breathe yourself down into your body, just taking notice of this amazing creativity that is your body. And this precious flesh that you inhabit. And really just taking a couple of breaths wherever you happen to be, just to be still. Even just so that you can take time to focus on this transmission and just give yourself a break out of your busy day. So we are on to day 25 of this 30-day vlog about Yang Woman, and being winter here in the UK and it's really foggy today, it's that sense of just a lull and a stillness. And although I've had a brilliant night's sleep, I always feel like I never quite wake up this time of the day. Hey ho for my light box, which is an enormously helpful piece of kit for this time of year, to just give my serotonin levels a boost. Okay, so day 25, and we are on the home straight towards 30 days of understanding who Yang Woman is through her challenges, her desires, some offering sort of advice of how to let the yin in, and then really the last couple of days I've been talking about how we live an authentically feminine life. And if you do feel that you're authentically feminine, I'd love to hear any of the things that you do to really connect to yourself. And if you want to share with me on this video, and also they're being uploaded to YouTube, please leave your comments, because it does help other women. You know, I see life from my perspective, but there are many other ways to see things, and particularly from a subject such as this. So this is day 3 of living the authentic feminine. And how do you do that? Well, I think for the major difference is that Yang women tend to live in their head all of the time, and we fill our heads with a lot of distraction, and we don't necessarily keep an eye on what's happening in the body. So we talked about celebrating the body, and that's a really important thing, so that you really get to love the skin you're in, rather than feel like you need to Botox it and do all sorts of things to change it as you get older. Why not celebrate you as you are? I used to love a programme on TV here in the UK called How to Look Good Naked, and a guy called Gok Wan, who used to really take a woman as she was and get her to really fall in love with herself and celebrate her curves and dress for herself to feel amazing about who she is already in this moment. And they tended to be a lot, actually, of young women and older women, you know, post 40, where your body tends to be aging. And then we talked about creativity and the essential essence of authenticity as being creative, and what do you do to be creative in your day. I live with a very creative mother, so I'm quite lucky, and it's a constant reminder for me. And today I wanted to talk about dance. I have always loved dancing, and I'm not necessarily talking about nightclub dancing, although for me really dance is an authentic expression in whatever form that comes in. Dance is really allowing you to access your non-cerebral state, which is to allow your body to flow. And there are lots of different dance places here in the UK, and I'm talking about not necessarily Latin and ballroom dancing, but I'm talking about biodanza dancing, which is again accessing the inner rhythm of the body, and also 5 rhythms, which is, I think, a big international business. So 5 rhythms, biodanza, something that actually allows you to dance for yourself. And also belly dancing is very expressive for me. I've tried it. And although I probably don't have a regular dance routine in my wig, for this next and upcoming year, I feel that dance is a a thing that I want to include, so that really it unblocks any stuckness. I mean, they say, you know, if you are feeling stressed and there are things happening in your world that don't make you feel good, reaching for the fags or the booze or the drugs is not a great idea. Just go and move your body, whatever that feels like for you. But actually, not necessarily fitness. For me, it's fitness can tighten the muscles and bring the energy inwards towards the body. What we're trying to do is to create flow, so dance allows you to fully express yourself. And all the different dance types that I've tried when I was doing my yoga teacher training, I did biodanza, and again that's really beautifully fluid, and dance is something that I want to include on my retreats. So GinaHardyYoga.com, keep an eye on my retreats over the next couple of years, because I want to start to think about how I can bring the authentic feminine into retreats with things like creativity, celebrating the body, and dance. So go and dance, go and find something in this next year to fully express yourself and physically, and you might even fall in love with yourself. And again, it's a way of celebrating the body is to dance. It's a way of being creative is to dance and let yourself be free and flow. It really unblocks a lot of stuckness emotionally, mentally, physically, and you come back feeling literally over the moon. I adore it whenever I do dance. It's incredible. And the other thing I wanted to say about being authentically feminine is actually how you interact with your partner. And how about dancing for your partner? Dance for your man, dance for your woman, and allow yourself to access your sexuality, sensuality through the movement of your body, the fluid movements of the body. And it can be really brilliant for improving intimacy. So if you, particularly through menopause, wow, my goodness, I'm one of those women who has libido that literally went from being incredibly active to incredibly not active within the space of a year. And it can really affect intimacy in a relationship. And I think that, again, where my channels of flow have closed down has been in the areas of intimacy with myself first and foremost, with creativity, and also dance. So allow this inner woman to come through and dance for your man, dance for your beloved, you know, really get into allowing yourself to be free, and that can really improve intimacy, and they can see you for who you really are. I think it's amazing. Dance for your partner. It's a great way of having fun. I mean, and also women with children, I'm sure you probably do it anyway, but look at kids when they're dancing. They're so free. They don't have inhibitions, and I think that's amazing. I'm just watching Lynn, who's just joined my video. And yeah, dance like nobody is watching. Beautiful poem, and about letting the inner freedom come through. So that's today. Dance. Yesterday was creativity, and the day before that we talked about celebrating the body. So authentic feminine is about really accessing it from the body, not the mind. Yangis are very mentally driven. And what about the body? Tomorrow I'm going to talk about my favourite subject, which is yoga and meditation. I could talk for hours, so I need to keep it fairly clipped. But again, for me, being authentically feminine is about how we listen to our body. Again, and that for me is yoga and meditation, so I'll talk a bit more about that. But in the meantime, I'm off to do the task list, because that's what we do, don't we? Beautiful you. I honour you, I salute you, and I love you, Yang woman. Namaste.